Hello, hello. So, everybody has probably heard of Adobe Flash, right? It's something that has been around for a while. And sooner or later, you've probably used it if you've ever been out in the world. Oh, that's not working. But here's the thing, okay? While once upon a time, Adobe Flash was the big thing, right? It let us do things that we couldn't do any other way on the web. However, those days are over. Not only that, but keeping it around is actually downright dangerous. So we're going to talk about how to remove it from your devices, but we're also going to talk about why. And you're going to want to stick around because we're also going to talk about a special problem that this is creating for us business owners. So let's get the party started. Hopefully this will work. Okay, and we really didn't need to hear the feedback, but that's okay. It's been a couple of minutes since I did a stream, and things are a little rough around the edges, but we're going to cruise through. So let's dive right into this because this is a meaty topic, and the clock is more than ticking on it. So first, let's talk about what is Flash? Where did it come from? Why are we talking about this? All that kind of good stuff, just so we're all on the same page. So back in the 1990s, let's call it, probably early to mid, there was a company called FutureWave that had created this really cool solution for doing things on the internet that we didn't have before. And because it was so awesome, it was acquired by a company called Macromedia. Those of you who know me in real life know that Macromedia always has and always will have a special place in my heart because it was a wonderful company, provided really great tools, and they were accessible. Like, they listened to us, they reacted to our needs, they were wonderful. As happens, they got very popular, they got big enough to become a bit of a threat to Adobe, so Adobe bought them and basically gutted them like they do. But they did, take across certain things like Flash and a few other pieces, and then did what they usually do to them, which I will leave out of this discussion for now. And so for a while, it remained a lot of people's go-to tool for creating like immersive, attractive, interactive websites that you couldn't do any other way, right? We're talking about like fancy animations and embedding video players. You can even build like video games. You could build entire applications and run them on the web. This was way before anybody else, was doing this kind of stuff. Anybody else had any kind of tools for it, because this is back in the infancy of the internet and web pages, and when, basically getting text and a very rough image of any type up on the site was like a major big deal. Hyperlinks were really what the internet was about at that point. So this was really mind-blowing stuff, and it became very, very popular. Of course, over time, right, there were all kinds of bigger, better platforms. The HTML got updated, CSS got updated, and continues to be updated. And, Flash kind of became old-fashioned, out of date. Adobe wasn't really giving it the love. Then they rebranded it, to become part of their animation thing. But the reality was it just kind of got there. So at long last, and for a while, we've been warned that Adobe Flash Player is finally dead, right? Flash is dead, really, is what we're talking about here. And not only do you no longer need to have it installed, but as of January 12th, 2021, right, which is coming up any minute now, depending on when you're seeing this, but as of when I'm recording this, that's what, we're talking about. It's going to actually be blocked. Adobe is going to block all devices from accessing Flash Player and related content anywhere on the web, okay? And I know you're probably thinking, big deal, right? I don't care. It's not my issue. It doesn't matter to me. But it is. Because the Flash Player is ubiquitous. Yeah, it's everywhere. And it is now a massive, massive security issue because it has become a playground, which we'll talk about in a minute. But before we go there, just so you don't think I'm just making this stuff up. Oh, really? That's not working? Okay, hang on. Okay, I may not be able to bring up comments. It's going to be that kind of day, folks. Let me try one more time. Oh, there it comes. I just had to do it twice. So Jason remembers playing Flash games, right? Even like Farmville and stuff, right? I just want to say, like, while it is seriously antiquated at this point, it's still out there. There are still sites that you have to use it. There are still sites, and we'll talk about this in a minute, where it's a requirement to even access the content, which is a problem. Stuart, yes, you're exactly right. The whole net, the whole interesting part of the net ran on Flash. That was definitely the case. It definitely was something that you needed to have. And those days, as I said, are gone. Gone, gone, gone. But before I go too much farther, I should introduce myself for all you folks that maybe not know me. My name is Kathleen. I'm here as your tech coach. The short version of why I do these things is because technology is my day gig. It's also my hobby, and so I have accumulated a lot of knowledge because I am the person people turn to in my world, work, professional, neighbors. When people have either a problem with technology, a question about it, or if they're looking for a solution but they don't know where to start. So I realize not everybody has somebody like me around, so now I'm here for you. Feel free to jump in and ask whatever questions. Hey Scully, good to see you. Thanks for cruising by. I wasn't really sure if anybody would show up tonight. I haven't been able to be on for a while, which is a whole other thing. Not a good story, so we're not going to get into it, but thank you all for showing up. I figured I'd be talking to myself tonight. All right, so are we ready to keep going? I think we are, right? We've covered the basics. Yes, okay. So let's talk about why you need to care about this, right? Why am I bothering you good people? You have busy lives, you have other things to do. Why am I bothering you? Because this is really super important for several reasons. And the big one is the security issues. So pretty early on, Flash was a pretty interesting target for people who like to do bad things on the web, because it gave power and accessibility to parts of your computer and your servers and all that beyond what they could do if you were just doing basic HTML, right? We were talking even probably the early days of CSS, maybe even just before it. And that's only gotten worse over time. Okay, it's because the fact that people aren't using it, people aren't maintaining it. Adobe did not do the best possible job to maintain it, even while it was still an active thing. They were just treated it as a cash cow. That was what the whole thing was about. But it's worse now because nobody's giving it any love. Nobody's updating it. Nobody's keeping an eye on it, which just basically leaves a huge gaping hole all over the place for all devices, right? On servers where people have websites. This is now a big problem. And so you need to be proactive about this. You need to take it off. You need to make sure you're rejecting access to it. You're not letting anything load it, all that kind of good stuff. Now, my Windows people out there, and I know who you are thinking, oh, it's okay. I know Windows is going to do an update on Windows 10 and it's going to be all good. Yes, no. Okay, so first of all, for older versions, no. On Windows 10, yes, they're going to do it through an update. However, it's only going to remove the Adobe Flash player that was installed by your version of Windows. So if you manually installed it from another source, it's not going to see it. It's not going to do anything about it. It's going to leave it sitting there. And even if you do let Microsoft do it, it's going to leave pieces behind, and you don't want to leave anything behind. So I'm going to get you to the point where you can take care of all that and take it and get it rid of. This is also about Mac devices, okay? All the people out there like to say, oh, the Macs, they're secure and everything. No. They're just as much of a target as anybody else on this. Also, your other devices, your tablets, your phone, your e-readers, that are surfing the web, anything and anywhere that somebody could have at some point installed Flash for you conveniently, or you installed it yourself for good enough reasons, it all needs to go now. It needs to be gone. And yeah, I know I'm going to hear from people who are like, well, I don't have time for that now. Well, they have been telling us that this has been going away for at least 5 years. So I'm sorry, but if you didn't do it, then you need to do it now. And I can guarantee you probably haven't done it, because I'm getting a lot of calls right now. So this is why we have these conversations, because when things bubble up in my world, I come and I share them here with you, because it's important and I want you all to be safe and taken care of. So we are going to talk about how to do this, where to do this, all that kind of good stuff. And then I'm going to take you through some specific ones, because there are some cases where it's a little bit more, shall we say, complicated? Let's say complicated. Okay, I'm sorry, but I now have to. Yes, okay. Well, all the stuff is unhappy. It's like, hey, you haven't played with us in a while. Alrighty, so let's talk first about Windows since I was just talking about that. So it's fairly straightforward is the good news. You're going to just go ahead and do a little bit of stuff. And I put the links in the description. Now it looks like Facebook somehow magically deleted the post I created. So I will go back later and I will add the links in there. I'm telling you, if you are on YouTube, the links should be there for you now. So thing to do on a Windows system is you're going to go to the Adobe website and there is a Flash Player uninstaller and it's a long URL, but like I said, I'll put the link in there for you. It's in helpx.adobe.com/Flash Player, blah blah blah. So you're going to go to that site or click on the link that's going to be in my descriptions or is in my descriptions if you're already there. You are going to get the right version, right? The 64-bit or the 32-bit version, and then you're gonna run it. It's gonna you're gonna run it. Before you do, shut everything down. Shut down your browser. Shut down your applications. Save everything. Just because you're doing something kind of big here. It's gonna run for a couple of minutes, and then it's gonna ask you to restart your machine. You do want to do that because that's how it's going to finish out the process of removing everything. When you're done. On the link, when you read the instructions, there is a few extra steps that it's going to tell you, but it's going to tell you specifically where to go. Well, that sounded wrong, but you get what I mean. It's going to step you through, where to go, where to find it, and it's going to have you delete a couple of extra files just to make sure that you've removed everything. After you do that, I recommend you do another reboot, not just a restart, a full reboot. Again, just to make sure that the system is completely cleaned up and everything is gone. And that is basically it. After that, there's also a link in those instructions where you can check the status of your Flash player. Don't do that yet because what that tool actually does is just check it in the browser. And the reality is there were other ways that you could run it. So we're going to go through how to do it in the browsers in detail in a second. So after you do it, after you remove it from your operating system, and this is for all platforms, after you remove it from your operating system or your device, and then you remove it from your browser or browsers, then again another restart, and then go to one of the sites, and again the link is in there, just to check the status of the Flash player. And what you want to see is nothing, right? You don't want to see any animation or anything on that test page, because then that means yes, it's truly gone, and that is what we are shooting for, truly and completely gone. It's super important. Okay, so next up, let me see if this actually restarted. I'm sorry, I don't have my captions going. Let me just go get those. Like I said, gonna be a little bumpy tonight. Okay, does it not work? All right, we're gonna try this one more time. And survey says, okay. There we go. I knew I could get it. All right, so now let's talk about how you're going to do this on the Mac operating system. And I'm sorry, folks, but it is a little bit more complicated on the Mac. That's just it. The reason for that is because you have to download a particular version of the uninstaller, just like what we did with the Windows. It's the same for the Mac, but it is version specific. So the first thing you're going to need to do on your Mac is you're going to need to find out what version you've got. So to do that, you're going to click on your Apple icon. You're going to click on About This Mac and look for the Mac OS version number. Write that down. Then again, you're going to click on the link that I'm giving you in the descriptions. You're going to let it run, okay? And then it's going to, let you know that it's done. Then you're going to want to restart. Yes, seriously. Because again, you want to make sure that your system has cleared out everything and make sure that it is truly and completely gone. And again, then after we do the browser part, which I will get into in a minute, then you can go ahead and do the check, just like we talked about for Windows, where you're going to go to a website and the link will be on the same page where you're downloading that uninstaller, so that you can verify it. Okay? All right. So let's see. Scully says, I'm so busy, my head's spinning, I may have to watch the replay. And that's the beauty of the replay, right? So I'm here every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. But I understand not everybody can be here at that time. Or, like Scully says, sometimes I'm talking really fast. We got a lot of content to go through. So you always have the replay to go back to. And the joy of the replay is you have total control. You can pause me, you can rewind me, you can come back when it's more convenient. So absolutely, that is one of the best things about all of this stuff is you can always go back and do it at your leisure. Okay, so we've talked about why you want to, what's going on, right? What Flash is, why you need it to go away, the security issues, and how to remove it from the two operating systems, Windows and iOS. Not iOS, Mac OS. So now let's move on to the browsers, because that process is very specific. Now, this is a case where if you have been doing your updates on your browsers, and you really should, if you are running a fairly current one, you should be pretty much okay, but I still recommend that you go in and verify this, because there's always the possibility that something went wrong, or you visited a site and it uploaded it, or installed it, it gave it access that you don't want it to have, and you didn't notice, or maybe somebody borrowed your system and did it. So it's always, for these kinds of things, the severity level is high enough that it is worth taking the extra 5 minutes to go through your browser and or browsers, right? Most of us have a couple floating around. Make sure that they're gone. Scully says, beauty of it, I get a lot of replays of my live readings of classic books. That's great. That's an awesome thing to do. Yes, and it, that's the nice thing about it. And also, okay, so this is just a side tip, folks. By watching a replay, the other benefit that you get is that you up or slow it down. So you can click on the video and you go to the gear and you can, specify what speed you want. Sometimes people talk a little slow for me. I talk fast. I'm from the East Coast. We move. So a lot of times I speed up videos that I'm watching. Sometimes I won't watch a live because the replay gives me an option to speed things up, which you don't get when you're live. So, yeah. Oh, Scully, thank you. Thank you. This is just this is one version of my newer set. For those of you who haven't been around a while, so I have been rearranging things. I have upgraded almost everything. Maybe everything. No, I didn't upgrade the mic. I've been using the same mic for a while. But thank you for that. I appreciate it. I put a lot of work into it. So this is like my regular show setup. When I do things on Twitch, which I'm changing the schedule, I'll definitely be there Fridays. I may throw another day in. I amp up the LEDs on Twitch because I can. But it's taken a lot of work, and it's not quite done. I still need to do some stuff in the back there, but we're getting there. All right, so let's talk about... Okay, so this is where I'm sorry, I do need to turn off the captions for this. This is on my to-do list. I will set this up better so that the captions stay where they're supposed to. Okay, evidently... Nope, that's that. Let me try that one more time. Okay. I think with everything else that has been going on in my world that perhaps I had a system reset. Okay, because evidently that didn't work either. Hang on. We'll get there. One sec. This is how you know it's live. If it wasn't, I would have edited that out. Okay. Here we go. I wasn't really planning to do this, but last minute I decided this would help because explaining, and I never do it the right way, explaining these steps, I figured it would help if you could see it while I was talking about it. So the tip I have for you right now is, I'm going to run through these fairly quickly because, again, you can come back for the replay and just, for whichever browser or browsers you need, you can just pause it, follow the steps, and then go on from here. So I put these here because I figured it would be easier to read. So the Chrome browser, still my personal favorite, although I have branched out into others. Now, these instructions will work for Chrome proper, right? But also any of the Chromium browsers, so Brave, you folks can throw in the other names. I'm drawing a blank right now, but it'll be the same process. Scully is a Chrome browser user. Yes, also. I mean, it's a little bloated right now, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get a pretty massive update on it pretty soon to clean some of that up, but for now. So, for Chrome, what you're going to do is you're going to go in, start your browser, and then copy and paste or just type in Chrome : / plugins, okay, and look for the Flash Player plugin. And then just click disable. And that will take care of it for you there. It's pretty simple. And like I said, that'll also work for any of the Chromiums. So now, of course, I say that, but Microsoft Edge technically is a Chromium browser. What that means is it's based on the Chrome browser platform code, that kind of thing. But of course, it's Microsoft, and Microsoft has to screw around with things. So to disable it in that, you're going to go to the address bar, and it's the same idea, but of course a little different because they're Microsoft. So it's edge : settings / content / flash. Now, that's extra work, but the good news is it will take you right to it. And again, you can just disable it there. You don't really, unless you have a very specific need, you really don't want to allow it to be loaded. I'll explain why in a little while. There is a small subset of the population out there who will probably have a need. But if you do have a need to use it, then the trick is go in, do this, turn it off, and only come in and turn it back on when you truly need it, and then go back and turn it off again, because you don't want this thing sitting out there. It's just too dangerous. IE. It just won't go away. Okay, you gotta understand my day job. I am a UI UX front end coder, which basically means I design user interfaces and then I code the front end. We're still having to test for IE because there's still people out there using it. I understand it. I love you all, but please, for everything you hold important in your world, please stop using it. Please stop using it. Particularly on your own devices. I know some corporate environments are just in love, but okay. So this one is a little bit more complicated, right? So you're going to click on the gear icon in the upper right corner. You're going to click Internet Options. Why? Well, you only see the typos when you're doing it, right? I forgot the end quote. That's now going to bother me the rest of the night. So you go to Internet Options. You're going to select Programs, and then click on Manage Add-ons. And the phrase you're looking for here is Shockwave Flash Client. Shockwave was like a subset of the Flash world. It was very popular for games. But so that's what you're looking for, because Microsoft treated all Flash with that label. And then again, you're going to go in and hit Disable. If you are among the people who do have a need for Flash every once in a while, I would recommend, if you can, and at all, not to have it in IE, because IE is filled with its own security issues. I would say move to Edge if your operating system can handle it. Some of the really older ones can't, but it's worth taking a look at it, because having IE and Flash running is like begging for somebody to come and do damage. So you don't want to do that if you can help it. Okay, Firefox. A little bit longer process than Chrome, but not too bad. Okay, so you're going to go to the hamburger icon, which is those three lines, right? You're going to click on Add-ons. You're going to go to the left column and click on the Plugins menu. And again, you're going to look for Shockwave Flash. For some reason, they went the Microsoft version of this. And then you're going to click on Never Activate. Not in love with the multi-step process here, but oh my God, I love the clarity of Never Activate, right? That says it all. You are totally good with this. So there you go. All right. Safari. This one, while there is an extra level of pain for my Mac friends out there to remove it from their device, the good news is once you do it, it also removes it from Safari, so you're good on that one. So we'll call that a partial win. Okay, so this is the part that most people who you're going to hear talking about this, or articles you're going to read about it, they forget to mention our favorite devices, right? Now we're talking about Android on any device, okay? So your Chromebook, your phone, your tablets, whatever it is, okay, that is running Android, you're going to want to go into those devices too. Don't forget your kids' devices. Don't forget your old backup devices. Don't forget your parents, your brothers, sisters, cousins, your neighbors, all that kind of stuff. So you're going to go in. If you installed it, the odds are pretty good you did it directly from the market. But either way, just go into Settings, Applications, Manage Applications, and look for Flash Player and click on Install. Okay? Make sure that after you remove it from the actual device itself, from the operating system, the Android operating system, that you go back, rewind this, and remove it from the browsers that you have installed on your device. 90% of the time, the Chrome instructions are going to be the ones you need, but if you've installed Firefox or some variant of that on your device, then you're going to need to follow those instructions. Yes, it's extra steps. Yes, it's a little bit of extra time, but it will keep you safe. So please go do. All right. And then the iOS devices, right? So again, it's your phone, it's your iPad, all those kinds of things. You're going to go in and look for the device, look for the icon for the Flash app. You're going to touch and hold it. You're going to click remove app, delete app, and then type delete to confirm. They just want to make sure. And again, make sure you go in and you take it out of your browsers, verify that it's not still running in Safari, make sure it's not running in any of the other browsers that you might have installed. Of course, if you need help, right, you can always reach out to me. Okay, so it's yourtechcoach.net. When you go there, there is a contact form there. You can go ahead and do that. Or the other thing is you can go to yourtechcoach.net/appointments and schedule an appointment. I'll knock some money off of the cost of it. I mean, usually the tech appointments are a couple $100, but for this, okay, for this, if you need help, it's this important, $35, okay, for, let's say it's January 2021, let's say for the next 3 months, okay? So there it is. I'm out there helping you. Scully's an Android person too. I knew I liked you for a reason. Okay, so that is that part of the game. Let's see what else I had for you. Oh, right. Okay, so the biggie. The extra steps for the business owners. That's what we're going to talk about next. But I did want to... This, please. Okay, whether you're Facebook or YouTube, please show a little love. That helps other people find this content and come and join our community. Scully, as always, has a great question. Does this close the door on many hackers? Yes. Not all, of course, right? There's always... remember my usual chain of events here, right? Humans are creating these things. Humans are fallible. So yes, there will always be security issues. Okay, that's the direct line from point A to point C. But this is definitely going to make you less of a target, because not only is this insecure, okay, but it's script kiddie insecure. Okay, so what I mean by that is it's so insecure that any pinhead, right, can go out and do a little search and find code that will do damage and then target it in many, many places, and you don't want to be one of those places. The script kiddies are dangerous because a little knowledge can be dangerous, and also they can do damage well beyond maybe what they were even looking to do. Most of them are just looking for attention, but depending on what it is that they download and they set loose on you, they have done really serious damage. So yes, it will definitely close the door on many hackers, understanding, of course, that, like everything else in life, you can never be completely safe, but you can certainly, lock your car doors, lock the door to your house, that kind of thing. Don't go, walking around, with $100 bills, taped to your hat. There's just certain things in life that you need to do to kind of increase the odds of not becoming a target, and that's it. You're getting bigger now as you're concerned. Well, that's the thing. So this is, and that I thank you for that, because that's a really good reminder. A lot of people are like, oh, it's okay. I'm small, it doesn't matter. That's the thing about the hackers and the script kiddies and the malware folks. Okay, they don't care what size you are. They don't care if you have one device, and you're, just running that, or your IBM, Microsoft, whatever. To those folks, every potential target is a target, and that's all they care about. They're not interested necessarily in getting your intellectual property, your IP, to do damage, to hack your site or whatever. They're just looking to create mayhem. Okay, so we don't need that. So this is what we're doing. We're making sure we're safe out there, because that's super important. So thank you, Scully. I appreciate that. All right, so let's talk about the other piece of this that I have not seen talked about anywhere. Well, I take that back. One photography site I found had this article, because I really started poking around, because I was a little distressed that people are not talking about this part of it. And that is, as a business owner, okay, now understand, my definition of business owner is anybody who is doing something that they're sharing with somebody, okay? You may say, well, I'm not making money for my thing. That doesn't matter. If you're a crafter, if you've got a website out there, that you fall into this category. If you are creating content for somebody else to see, or you're creating content just to put it out on the web for your own entertainment, this still applies to you. And that is all of you folks out there who have websites. Maybe you built it, maybe somebody built it for you. You need to do a complete and thorough audit of your website, your apps, all those things, to make sure that all of the traces of Flash are gone. And because so many people used Flash as their site, you may not even be thinking about it as a Flash site, right? You're just thinking about, oh, I paid somebody 10 years ago to create this cool site for me, and it does all these great things and blah blah blah, which is wonderful. But the reality is if you have any Flash out there, you are leaving your site vulnerable, you are leaving your website vulnerable, and you are increasing the odds that people will not be able to see your content. Because remember what I said in the beginning, as of January 12th 2021, Adobe is going to actively block people from seeing content that uses Adobe Flash. So all you people out there that have these websites that you paid for, and you're trying to treat it like a piece of furniture, you don't want to pay to have it rebuilt or refreshed or to have it cleaned up, or you had it on a couple of parts of your site, maybe you were using it for ads or whatever, all of these little tendrils that are out there, you're responsible, right? It's your stuff. Whether you paid somebody to do it, whether you're using a third-party site and you made use of their widgets, none of that matters. At the end of the day, you are responsible. You have to go and you have to make sure that that stuff is gone, removed, deleted, inactivated, and that you have now made that whatever content's in there, if it's still valid, you want to make sure that that is still, that content is there for you, okay? So, and that's one of the things that I found on the photography sites, because it was a very popular thing for things like photographers, artists, that type of thing, because it let them do things with their content that other people couldn't do. Now, don't freak out. The good news is you're not going to lose anything. If anything, you're going to gain, because one of the big problems for business folks with the Adobe Flash solution was the fact that it was not and would never be SEO friendly. So when you get this done, whether you're going to do it yourself or you might have to pay, you might have to pay for it. I'm sorry, but that's the cost of being in the world. HTML5, CSS3, Flexbox Grid. Don't worry if you don't understand these words. The point I'm saying is everything that you had been doing with whatever Flash content you had can absolutely be recreated today with open source free stuff, right? Just the basics of the web, HTML, cascading style sheets, and so on, without needing a plugin, without having to worry about all these, other issues. And it also will buy you the benefit of making sure that all of your content now is SEO friendly, right? Search engine optimization, which is how people find us. So yes, I understand you're going to be aggravated. Yes, I understand it's going to be something that is going to cost you time and money. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not kidding around when I say drop everything. Whatever else you're doing right now, you need to drop everything. You need to take care of this, make sure it's done, and get a hold of somebody who can help you if you need it. But do it because, A, you're going to be making everything safer, which is always a good thing, but also it is actually going to benefit your business at the end of the day. So you're looking for a silver lining. There's one that's silver and gold as far as I'm concerned. Maybe even silver gold with diamond encrusted. It definitely is that kind of thing. Oh, thank you. Okay, so Scully's making me very happy, and I appreciate that. Not that Jason, everybody else who's out there, I appreciate you being there. Stuart, hello. But you're going to come back and follow directions. Thank you so much, and you know where to find me in multiple places. So if you need a hand, feel free. He's put this onto his private LSP list. LSP is a company I do some moderation for, so thank you for that, and thank you for hanging out with the LSP folk. You love listening to me. Please come back up. Thank you. You can't possibly know what that means to me right now, but thank you. I am looking to actually expand. This is kind of off the topic, but we're wrapping up anyway. I am looking to expand things. I have some plans, but these plans were actually supposed to be put into place last fall, but we'll just say, last year was what it was, and it all blew up on me. So I'm now looking to get caught up. So yes, you will be seeing more of me, and thank you for that. I do appreciate that. Okay, so that really is it. Just for the folks who might be joining late, you're going to need to rewind. You're going to need to catch the replay. But the point is, you need to remove Adobe Flash from everything, all the devices, everywhere. Your computers, your tablets, your laptops, your iPads, all of it. Chromebooks, whatever else, all the other devices. I've walked through why, I've walked through how to do it on the main operating systems on Mac and Windows. Those links are in the description, or I'm sorry, Facebook, I will put them back in the description since Facebook took them away, but they will be there by the time you're watching this. And then also you need to go into any and all browsers on any and all devices and clean it out of there. And yes, also take it off of Android and iOS, and then you'll be good. The good news is, I mean, it sounds super time intensive, and it's not. You're going to click on the link, you know, for the operating system. It'll take care of most of it, and then you just need to go and clean up a couple of files. You know, maybe 5 minutes per computer, maybe 6 minutes per device, because there's more clicking you need to do. But I'm not, you know, you guys, hopefully, you know, you guys who are regulars here, you know, I don't steer you wrong, right? I bring this up because it's important, and it's something that needs to happen, and you need to be the one to do it, because there's nobody else who's going to step up and do it for you. But it is not something to feel stressed over. Literally, all of the things, all the links I'm giving you, there are step-by-step instructions, and the uninstaller does a lot of the job on the computers. So it may feel a little intimidating if you're not super comfortable with the tech, but I promise you can do this. I absolutely promise you 100%. But then please remember to go and check your websites, or have somebody do it for you. I mean, that's always an option too. But make sure that gets done, and make sure that gets done like yesterday. Okay, I'm not overstating the significance of this. Yesterday it needed to be done, so then do it today, and get things taken care of, and you'll be good. Come January 12th, people will still be able to get your content, and as a benefit, everything will be much more secure. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Skelly says 2021 will be good. We are counting on that. Yes, and thank you for the kind encouragement. I do appreciate it. Jason says, this reminds me when you showed us Google Plus shut down, making sure everything was wrapped up before D-Date. Yes, actually, yes, that's a very good analogy, because the G Plus shutdown was something else that people didn't pay enough attention to until it, started to get to be too late. And I want to make sure everybody got their content and everything taken care of beforehand. So yes, thank you. That's exactly the kind of thing we're talking about. It is a point of no return kind of thing. All right, everybody, I'm going to go and feed the doggy. Thank you. As always, if you do have questions, if you do need help, you can reach out to me at yourtechcoach.net. There's a contact form there, there's information there, and that, by the way, is one of the things that's going to be seeing some extra growth this year. But I can guarantee you it is Flash free. All of the little animation, all the cool little effects, most of it is cascading style sheets, and the rest of it is just HTML. So you're safe when you go there. Okay? Thank you all so much. Have a good one. I will see you here next week. As I said, it's every Thursday at 8 p.m. And I'm also on Twitch, same name. I'm Your Tech Coach over on Twitch. I will be there Friday. I'm going to shoot for like 8:30 Eastern time. And then going forward, I'm going to pick another day. I'm just not going to do Thursday, because doing 2 shows on Thursdays was a bit much. So thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you for showing up. And for all of you who are going to catch it on the replay, we love you too. So we will see you soon. Bye.